Okay, so now we're going to take a look at a film that's just come out on VOD and also on Blu-ray and DVD. It's called Occupation Rainfall, and you might have remembered a couple of years ago I reviewed an Australian film that I loved called Occupation. It was from director Luke Spark, and it was one of those really, really good Australian films that works so hard to have an international look to it, and Occupation did that so well. It was about a group of survivors after an alien invasion, and of course being set in Australia, it had a real local kind of feel to it for people watching in Australia. Well, now we have Occupation Rainfall, which is the sequel to Occupation, and there's a third one coming as well. Luke Spark again returns as director and screenwriter, and some of the original cast returns back with him as well, including Dan Ewing playing Matt Simmons. Now, this time around, Luke Spark has gone all out. He's had a little bit more money put into this project, and the result is an absolutely fantastic sci-fi action film that should do Australia proud. This is proof that when Australians want to work on something absolutely epic, they can do that. Now, this does have, at times, a little bit of a television feel to it, in that it feels like an episode of Battlestar Galactica or something like that, but don't let that put you off. There's some brilliant scenes in here with characters clashing. I think that's something that Luke Spark's done really well here, to bring a little bit of humanity into pretty much of what is a shoot 'em up between the humans and the aliens. He brings in this whole idea that some of these aliens want peace, and so you have some of the characters reaching out to them and helping them, but at the same time you have this general that doesn't want that to happen. He wants all these aliens dead, so you actually have clashes between the human characters, and I think that is what kind of moves this film along. Now, the other big change this time around with Occupation Rainfall is the inclusion of a little bit more comedy. They bring Ken Jeong in here as a character called Bud Miller, who works at a Northern Territory base for the US government, and they've actually got an alien there called Steve, voiced by Jason Isaacs, who has been living there for years. And that humour, I'm kind of torn with it. It worked because it was Ken Jeong, but at the same time, it didn't feel at times like it should be in this film. It felt like it was ripped off of Paul, the film with Nick Frost and Simon Pegg. It just didn't feel like it should have been in this film. And the biggest weakness of this film, I'll admit, is its length. It is way too long. You might sit there and kind of enjoy it at the time, but you do notice the length, and you kind of wonder whether that comedy aspect would have been better off being made more serious to match the rest of the film, and perhaps being in number 3, not in this film. Having said that, though, I still loved this film. I loved the way it looked. I loved the character interactions. You end up loving some of these characters, and you feel upset when things happen during this. That is one of the things that I love about this series, is that Luke Sparks never really hidden the fact that don't get too attached to some of these characters because they're not all going to make it through to the end credits. That continues in this film as well. And look, I just find this franchise so exciting to see what is happening with an Australian franchise and how well it's working. If you love the original, definitely go and seek out this one. Definitely watch this one as well. I'm giving it 3 out of 5. I thought the length of it really held it back a little bit, but the rest of the film was absolutely brilliant, I've got to say. I thought it was an amazing film. If you're a fan of Australian films and you haven't checked out the first one, go back and watch the first one and then watch this one. You will not be disappointed. I think Luke Spark is a director that I cannot wait to see where he goes to in the future, what he does in the future, because I think he is such an amazing director that we're going to see him I don't know, I could see him directing a Star Wars film one day. He's just got that much talent. So go and check out Occupation Rainfall. It's definitely worth your time.